What's up everybody, welcome back to this channel. Today I'm gonna show you guys another one of those massive tutorials that just basically covers everything like I did with the dribbling tutorial. If you guys haven't seen my dribbling tutorial, I highly recommend it. I show you how to do pretty much every dribble move in the game. This time I'm doing the same, but basically with every move that you use to attack the basket. Now I personally love attacking the basket, and I never ever been a slasher. I never been a slasher in 2K, but I get so many buckets at the rim just because I know how to do every little thing and how to get around my defenders using different type of moves, and that's what we're gonna touch in today. So let's just not waste any more time. I'm using Klay Thompson just because he's taller. Steph Curry is a little too short for me for this tutorial, so I'm gonna be using Klay Thompson, but it's pretty much the same concept for every single player. You can do this with a center, you can do this with a guard, anything in between you can do it with. So let's get started with the dunking. One thing you gotta keep in mind though is that to be able to dunk you have to hold turbo. In my case, I'm playing on PS4, so turbo will be R2. But yeah, you guys should know what button turbo is. But yeah, let's just get straight into the dunking. To be able to do a two-handed dunk, you have to push the stick up as you're moving forward, right? But remember, you have to be holding turbo. So you hold turbo, you push the stick up, you're gonna do a two-handed dunk. I highly recommend you guys to do this dunk whenever you have somebody behind you. That way they cannot chase down block you. Sometimes you will still get chased down block, but for the most part, they won't be able to. Now, especially if you're a small guard, look how quick this is. Two-handed dunks are quick, they're effective, they're safe. Should be using them. Now, if you want to do a left-handed dunk, you do the same thing, except you're gonna push the stick to the left. And if you want to do a right-handed dunk, you push the stick to the right. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, it's one thing left, and that is the stick down. What does the stick down do? Well, if you push the stick down while holding turbo to the basket, you're gonna do a flashy dunk. I know that didn't look flashy at all, but listen, it's Klay Thompson. That's probably as flashy as it's gonna get. Never mind, here we got that was a little more flashy, but yeah. If you wanna do your flashy dunks, you're between the legs, you're behind the backs, you're 360s, that's how you do them. Now let's move on to some layups. Layups, let go of turbo. If you're holding turbo, you're gonna dunk it. I can't stress that enough. Anyways, to do a right-handed layup, simple. Right stick, push it to the right. To do a left-handed layup, push the right stick to the left. To do your normal layups, and seriously, that's exactly what it's called, normal layup, push the stick up. And you're gonna get a couple of variations of a normal layup. There's even a double clutch one that you can do from time to time. Now, if you push the stick down, what's gonna happen is you're gonna do a floater. Floaters, they're a little bit hard. The reason being is because the release is different than your normal jump shot. And another thing is, if you have a player like I do with Klay Thompson that doesn't really have that teardropper badge, then it's gonna be a little bit harder for you to make them than if you had the teardropper badge. So now let's move on to more specific layup animations, like for example, reverse layups. As you're moving towards the basket, if you're coming from the left, you hold the stick towards the left. If you're coming from the right, you hold the stick towards the right. That's one thing you gotta keep in mind, is that timing is crucial. If you try to do a reverse layup from like over here, it's not gonna happen. You have to be closer to the basket. If you're too far away, let me show you what happens if you're too far away. You're just gonna do a normal layup. Makes sense. You can't really do a reverse layup if you're jumping from all the way over here. I say you should start from where I'm standing right here. That's where you should be starting your reverse layups from. Let's talk about Euro steps. That's another really important move you gotta know. Euro steps are really simple as well. While you're moving towards the basket, if the ball is on your left hand, you gotta flick the right stick diagonally down to the right. If the ball is on your right hand, you're doing the opposite, diagonally down to the left. Euro steps are really effective, man, I'm telling you. That's why I had a tutorial specifically for them. Now let's talk about spins. Spin layups, pretty simple. All you're doing is just rotating the stick in whatever direction you want to spin. Now, don't let go of the spin. Basically, if you rotate it to the right, you're holding it. So you're basically rotating and then holding at the top. What happens if you don't hold the top is that you're gonna stop. You're gonna stop the spin animation, right? So you rotate it and you keep it going. Don't let go. Rotate and then just hold it right there. Whenever you're done rotating the stick, you hold it exactly where you finished. Now another thing to keep in mind is that you do it from too far away. Instead of doing a layup like this, you might do an actual jump shot. So check it out. So make sure that you know exactly what you want to do. Another way to do spins is by just double tapping square while you hold turbo. So if you're holding turbo and you double tap square, you can do a spin. It's a little easier to pull off, but at the same time you have less control over it. And the same goes for the spin jump shot. If you double tap square, you can also do a spin jump shot. Now another move that also involves attacking the rim is the hop or the gather. So whenever you're driving to the basket, if you just tap square, you'll do a hop step. If you tap square one more time, you can shoot it. So let me show you. You tap it and then you hold it. So just by tapping it, I'll show you guys right here, just by tapping square, you're not actually gonna do anything except for just hop. Now it's important that you know that, because sometimes you'll be able to hop, you know, around the defender, and then you'll be able to just easily score. But sometimes you're gonna hop and the defender is still gonna be there. That way, you know, you're not gonna just shoot a dumb layup. You can actually stop and pass out. And I think that covers everything when it comes to layups and dunk animations. One thing that I forgot to mention is that you can switch anything. Let me show you. I'm gonna go for a layup and then I'm gonna switch in midair. Watch. See? That one wasn't as clear, but here, let me show you an example that's super clear. Go for a floater, switch it. Yeah, I know it's kind of stupid, but the point is just to show you guys that you can switch everything, right? And this works with anything. Look, I'm gonna do a spin, and then I'm gonna switch it. It works with anything. Now make sure that you do have the Acrobat badge if you're trying to do this, because if you don't have Acrobat, you're probably gonna fail most of the times. But you can even switch a dunk into a layup like I did right there. Let me show you guys. I'm gonna go for a dunk, and then I'm gonna switch it into a layup. Now the way that you switch is you're gonna spam square. I know it sounds silly, but trust me, that's the way I do it. There's other ways to do it. I'll get into that. But the way that I do it is I just start spamming square. So look, I'm gonna go for a floater, I'm gonna start spamming square, and I'm gonna switch my shot like that. Same thing goes with everything. I'm gonna do like a right-handed layup, and then I'm gonna switch it. See? Sometimes it's hard to see, but you can tell by the way the animation is that I'm switching my layup like that. All I do is just spam square. Now if you don't want to spam square, you can also move the right stick. So you'll start by, let's say, do a floater, and that's a jump shot. Let's say we're gonna go ahead and do a floater, and then we're gonna rotate the stick after, and look at that, we actually switch it to the left hand. Now the good thing about switching your layup with the right stick instead of the square button is that you have more control of it. But me personally, I just feel like it's easier to switch it with square. And if you have to switch your layup, it's probably because you're doing something bad, which means at that point you're probably screwed anyways. So really, I mean, it just depends on personal preference. But that's it, guys. That's everything that has to do with slashing. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one.